Hello and welcome. I am Roy and Ninjazilla80, and things are going to be heating up quite a bit today because I will be reviewing the Mattel Rulers of the Sun Masterverse Sunman figure. And yeah, other than this Sunman, the only other Sunman I know is the Sunman from the unreleased NES game, which I do have the ROM for, which I will be using the background music from that game for this review. And also, this is a really cool figure, and I got some things to say about him. So with that said, let's get on with this review. And now, starting things off with the box, because you know we have to talk about really cool boxes on this channel while we have them. And of course, as you can see, I have already taken the figure out of the box, but anyway, up front and center, we can see we have the Rulers of the Sun title logo right there, and we have Sunman, which is the name of the character you are getting inside, and of course we have the Mattel logo right there. We have ages 6 and up, but yeah, that means all you 5-year-olds, you're out of luck, but yeah, I think a 6-year-old would lose the accessories and not understand that you have to heat these figures up in order to loosen up the joints in order to move them. So yeah, I don't think a 6-year-old would be aware of all that. And of course, we do have the 40th anniversary Masterverse logo right there. Now, I did hear the backstory about why Rulers of the Sun was created, and it is basically because this lady's son didn't think that he could be a hero as cool as He-Man, because, you know, there was no black characters in the Masters of the Universe franchise. I forgot her name, but she kind of made like her own like subline called Rulers of the Sun, alongside Masters of the Universe, with a bunch of like different like diverse characters. So that's how Rulers of the Sun kind of came about, as far as what I understand. And of course, we do have the Masterverse logo at the top, and of course, we do have a really cool art style picture of Sunman right there. With the sun symbol in the middle of his armor, you know, all lit up right there, looking cool with his phoenix wings out. And of course, we have his weapon, which is called the Sword of Light, but to me, I'm going to nickname that the Blade of Light, because it's more like to me, it's more like a spearhead with a handle. It's less of a sword, more like a spearhead on a handle, but I'm going to call it the Blade of Light, kind of almost like the Blades of Chaos, like Kratos' weapons from God of War, so I'm kind of gonna, you know, go off of that vibe for it. But anyway, we have Sunman, the greatest hero of them all. I don't know. I thought He-Man was the greatest hero of them all in the Masters of the Universe franchise. Well, at least they say he's the most powerful man in the universe. I don't know. Not the greatest hero of them all, but I don't know. But anyway, we have the back of the box. We have a really cool picture of Sunman right there, flying in the sky. Of course, with the sun symbol in the middle of his armor lit up again, and we have his character bio right there. You can pause it and read it if you want to, so I'm going to leave it there for a hot little minute. And now, moving right along, we have also available different figures you could get in this wave. We have Jitsu, which I don't know if I'm going to get him. Jitsu's not a character that interests me too much, but he still looks cool. But you know what they say about Jitsu? Jitsu with the Shih Tzu. So I guess his dog is a Shih Tzu. I don't know. We have Hero, which is really cool. I might grab him sooner or later because he looks pretty cool. I'm not familiar with his character too much, but the figure looks cool. Of course, we have Sunman, which is the figure that you are getting in this box. And of course, we have the New Eternia Battle Armor He-Man, the one that has the beard. I'm not too much of a fan of beards because I'm not a facial hair person, but I did get this one from Big Bad Toy Store since it was on sale for super cheap. But anyway, we have the Mattel logo yet again, and it says empowering the next generation through play. And oh yeah, one more thing I wanted to say about this one in particular. Right here, they show, I don't this either this was from a prototype or a misprint. You can see his beard is dark brown, but on the figure his beard is like blonde, just like his hair. But I don't know. But I just think that was like a miscolorization on a misprint. But anyway, yeah, that pretty much concludes it for the box. Now on to the figure. And now, here we have the Rulers of the Sun, Masterverse, Sunman, in all of his red, hot, fiery, bright, sunny, shiny glory. I guess that's how you put it. As you can see, first things first, this is a well-sculpted, well-detailed, highly articulated figure made by the super cool, awesome people at Mattel, of course. And as you can see, he is a person of color, which does not bother me. I picked this figure up from Big Bad Toy Store for about $10. So he was like super cheap, but he looked cool, so I grabbed him. Not being familiar with Rulers of the Sun at all, but I seen this, it was part of the Masterverse, so I'm like, this looks like a really good one to add to my collection, and maybe like do some cool stuff with him. So I picked him up. He does have these really cool phoenix wings, because that's what they're called. They are like this translucent yellowish orange, and you can see they're translucent. If I bring them up a little bit, because you can see, I don't know if you could see it, my finger behind his wings, so you can see that slightly, because I have my light on my phone. And yeah, you can see my other finger right there behind his wings. And his wings, now I heard some people complain about this. The thing about his wings, they just pivot, you know, up and down. They just like swivel, and which I agree. They should have been on hinges right here, like connected to his armor, but they're just on swivels. And we do have like these big silver pins right here where the upper wing would swivel as well. But it's still cool. I like it. So you could put his wings in all kind of different poses still. So we could put his wings up like so. We could put his wings down if we want to. Which since I have them on my shelf on my entertainment center, I'm keeping his wings down for now, so it's not blocking my TV. But anyway, he looks cool with his wings spread out like so. And we could put him up again, and then yeah, it's really cool. I like his wings. His wings are nice. And of course, taking a look at his armor. His armor, to me, is really unique. We do have these like this red torso armor right here. We have some gold trim at the shoulder guards right there, looking really cool, and it goes into like this gold design with some really nice, cool looking engravings going into the sun symbol on his chest, and we see that same gold lining with those engravings going down to the lower part of the torso armor right there. And we do have some raised like these raised striped engravings right there on sort of like the rib sides of his torso armor as well. And yeah, turning to the back, we also see like this huge raised diamond engraving on the back of his torso armor, on the back by his neck right there. And of course, we do see some more of that gold trim going around the neck of his torso armor as well, or the neck hole, I guess that's what you call it. And of course, we do see he's wearing some signature Sunman green skirt armor right there with some black trim, looking really nice, really cool. And also, he's wearing some really cool, unique arm guards with this red diamond engraving, and we do see that also those unique similar engravings we see on that gold trim on his chest armor, on his on the gold on his shoulder guard, and he also has the same thing on the other side, except it's just covered by his shield right now. So I can yeah, I gotta be careful, take that shield off for now, so trying to get it out. So, and yeah, I know I can use this open hand for a shield, but I prefer just using the closed fist because I rather have my figures with symmetrical hands. And of course, we do take a look at his closed fist. I don't know if this part was meant to be painted or not, but it does look like he does have sort of like these like knuckle guards over his hand. So we do it, or it could just be red, armored pieces matching his gloves, but this does look like some type of armor plating on top of his gloves. So he has the same thing on the other side as well. So I don't know if that was meant to be painted and he just skipped over that, or just red like the rest of his arm gauntlet. I don't know, but anyway, moving to the lower body portion of the figure, you can see he is wearing matching boots to his arm guards, but this time we do see that matching engraving on the flat part of the gold on his boots, and we do see it also has a raised engraved star logo, like a star symbol on both boots. So really nice. His boots look cool, very unique. I don't see any other figures in the Masterverse sharing those same boots, but I do notice a lot of them use the same boots that He-Man uses. But anyway, moving right along to articulation with this figure, and articulation is pretty much the same song and dance you pretty much get with every Masterverse figure, but I'm still going to go over it anyway. We can look up, we can look down, we can look right, we can look left, and we can cranium revolve this all the way around a full 360 and the opposite way. We also have hinges in the shoulders, so we can bring the shoulders all the way out like so. Let me put his wings down so I can go over arm articulation, and of course bring the arms down, and of course we can swivel all the way around a full 360 if we choose to, although you might run into his wings, so I'm trying to move his wings out the way so I can swivel his arms all the way down, and we do all the way around, and we do have a bicep swivel in both arms, so we can swivel both arms as you are seeing. We also have a double joint in the elbow, which, yeah, more often than not, you do have to heat it up real good in order to bend both elbows like they're meant to be bent, but we can do it because, yeah, do have a double joint and they are pinless. But to me, rather joints on a figure are pinless, or you can see the pins, really doesn't make that much of a difference to me. That's just something that doesn't bother me too much. We also have a really good leg articulate, well, actually forefoot top torso we can rock side to side and forward and back. Although this doesn't have the updated torso articulation, so we can't rotate all the way around a full 360, because if we try to force it, we're going to break it. So yeah, not advised, but we can rotate the waist all the way around a full 360. So you can do that. You just can't do it with a top torso on the earlier released Masterverse figures. But anyway, now moving to the lower body portion of the figure, we can kick forward like so, and then back down about that much. Same is true with the other leg, and then back down. We can split out about that much. We could split out a little bit more if I heat it up a bit to soften up that skirt arm a little bit, but that's just gonna make it all bent out of place. I'm gonna have to heat it up again. So, you know, this is about as much you're gonna be able to split out without, you know, modifications. But anyway, I'm not gonna make any modifications to my figure because I don't want to ruin it. Because to me, I feel like it's good for what it is. But anyway, we can swivel the thighs a full 360, so we do have a really good thigh swivel in there. We also have a double joint at the knee, so we can bend the knees all the way back like so, if we choose to, and then forward again. And also we do have a swivel in those boots, so we can swivel those boots of his all the way around a full 360, like so. And of course we have ankle hinges, so we can point those ankles forward and back like so, point them down, swivel them all the way around, so we can swivel them all the way around on the peg joint. So we do have that, and we do have some holes in his heels, so if we want to put him on a stand, we can. So I can give you a quick example of that. I believe I have one right here. This is from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Street Fighter figures, but they do work with Masterverse figures, and I find they also work really well with NECA Gargoyles figures as well. So we can put them on a stand if we want to, but if you ask me, I don't think he really needs that too much. But I'm just showing you guys, it's an option if you want to do that. But anyway, getting into accessories, and yeah, this figure comes with some good accessories. Well, not much, but you still get accessories. Of course, he does come with the what they call the Sword of Light, but like I said, this doesn't look very much like a sword. To me, it's more like a spearhead on the handle. So I'm going to give this the name of the Blade of Light instead of Sword of Light. Cause, you know, kind of depriving that name, like I said, from the Blades of Chaos from God of War, since Kratos' weapons are not like necessarily swords either. They're more like blades that he flings around on a chain, although this is not the same type of weapon, but I'm just kind of giving it a name inspired by that, so I'm going to call that the Blade of Light, or Blade of Sun, or whatever you want to call it, in his hand. And of course, we have his shield. We have Sunman's shield right here. We have the sun symbol, like the sun symbol in the middle of the shield, although we do have the sun symbol in the middle of the chest armor, but we can see it's a little bit different, with the spikes being a little sharper and longer, with the sun symbol on the chest armor and the sun symbol on the shield being a little bit more rounded with some more like wider triangular points. But anyway, we also see that we do have sort of like this red frame going around the sun symbol right here, with some gold, well, red backdrop, or whatever you want to call it, with like this green frame going around the shield. And we do see some of that engraving you see on the gold trim on his chest armor as well. I think this was really meant to be painted. This line right here with the engraving, I think that was meant to be gold, or like, you know, or at least like a light bronze color. But I would say that's like a gold colorization because the sun symbol is gold. But I don't know. I guess they just cut back on that for some reason. But anyway, I get the hint that this part right here was supposed to be painted. And of course we do have some handy accessories. We have his open palm hand, if we want to use that to put a shield in his hand. So we can take this one out if we want to put the shield in, or put the shield on the easy way. But I don't know, I just kind of prefer the hard way because I prefer having symmetrical hands. But anyway, if we want to do the easy way, we can just slip his shield on like that, and the rest is history. So if we want to go the easy route with a shield, we can. But the cool thing is, when we have the open palm hand, we kind of want to do the Captain America throw with a shield, we can. And of course we do have a closed fist hand. The downside to the closed fist hand, especially with your Masterverse figures, yeah, you can't really hold anything with these hands. You can't hold any weapons or anything, so kind of sucks. So even if we would be doing a stop motion project, which I'm kind of thinking about doing some stop motion project with Masterverse figures sooner or later, I think these will work just fine for like punching segments over closed fist hands, because it's not like, you know, people are going to notice that too much anyway. So, but anyway, let's put his other like gripping hand back on with his shield. And in order to do this, how you put the shield on with the gripping hand, if you prefer symmetrical hands, the trick to it is you take the gripping hand off the figure, or if it's not on the figure yet, when you get it out of the package, what you want to do is you want to take the hand and slip it onto the strap handle of the shield, like so. And after that, you basically want to, let me get it right, slip it on, and I gotta get it right, and then just press it, and just press the peg into the socket, and yeah, it goes on quite nicely. And it stays on very firmly, so you don't really have to worry about slipping off. And to take it off, you just gotta pull the hand off from and just pull it from here. So it's not that hard to get on and off. You just gotta be careful and know what you're doing. But anyway, with that said, it is now a time to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability. And if I have to give this figure a final score based on detail, articulation, and playability, I have to give him a drum roll, please. And based on those three categories, I have to give him a fair but square, well-deserved, fully honest 9 out of 10. Why? Like I said, the only thing I'm taking points off for earlier release Masterverse figures is the design flawed torso joint with that single peg joint in the middle of the chest that you can't fully rotate. That, to me, that just seems like an odd design choice for Mattel, and yeah, I'm glad they corrected that with later release Masterverse figures. But however, other than that, I think this was a really awesome figure to have in your collection. You know, regardless if you are a Masters of the Universe fan or not, or just a casual fan looking to pick up some really awesome figures for a cheap price, This is highly recommended. These are about $10 from BigBadToyStore.com. I will put the link in the description so you guys can go grab them for yourself if you want to. It's a really nice figure. Highly recommend it. Articulation is good, like I said, except for that design flaw at torso joint. Detail wise, it's very unique. Playability, he holds together really well. He's not falling apart if you look at him too hard, so that's a definite plus. As far as what I mean by that, I know a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys watching this that are most like hardcore Masters of the Universe fans are most likely unfamiliar with the Hiya Toys Godzilla line. I mean, not Hiya Toys, SH Monster Arts Godzilla line, and a lot of those are known to pop to pieces very easily, with very little to no effort. And that's one of the reasons why I now buy Hiya Toys over SH Monster Arts, because it's just cheaper, and yeah, they don't pop to pieces nearly as easily. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, highly recommended figure. Definitely well worth it to add to your collection. But anyway, guys, that pretty much concludes it for this review. And yeah, I know I'm a talker. I could talk a lot. I go off script, and that I don't even have. But anyway, guys, with all that said, thank you guys all so much for watching. Your viewership is much appreciated. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And to wrap it all up, stay safe, take care, stay positive, stay powered up. God bless, and peace out.